Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Big Bro Lamar Ludi, and I'm coming to you today. I wanted to talk with you guys about ESPN's recent rankings of NBA players. They've got the top 74 players ranked, and they decided to go ahead and put them in order, make their list, starting with number 74, which is a strange number to start with, but I guess they're coinciding it with the league's 74-year history. So we're starting with player 74, and we're going to go all the way down to player number 1. Now, I haven't seen this list. It was requested by a fan that I go ahead and check out this list and then get a video out to you guys. So that's what we're going to do. I haven't seen it. I'm going to take you guys with me through the list, and we'll see what we've got. We'll see what ESPN's got. So let's go ahead and check it out. Let's see. The list is going to start with number 74, and it's going to go through numbers 41. So let's see what we can get into. All right, we've got Artist Gilmore. Okay, starting off back in the day. With these guys back in the day, you know, it's always a little thing. Maybe I should get Dad Ludi up in here, but it's always the thing where these guys can kind of be flip-flopped back and forth. They're great players. They're great players. You can see he's got 18 points per game, 12.3 boards, 2.3 assists, 2.4 blocks. He's doing it all. But he's playing back in the 70s and a little bit into the 80s. So that's a long time ago. So I can see why he's ranked back there. Dikembe Mutombo. Haven't heard that name for a while. He's out there blocking shots. He's played in the NBA Finals. Okay, Dikembe Mutombo, number 73. Damian Lillard, number 72. Okay, 8-year career, 24 points per game, couple boards, 6.5 dimes. Damian Lillard's been putting in a lot of work in recent time. Okay, number 72. Okay, that's a okay ranking. He's got to get a little bit more success. Bob Lanier, like I said, when you've got the old school guys, I mean, he's playing back in the very early 70s. When you've got those old school guys, it's going to be something where they could be kind of flip-flopped, interchangeable. Tony Parker, number 70. Okay, Tony Parker, I mean, he's got championships, you know, and when you have championships and you're the starting point guard on championship teams, you're going to get nice rankings on lists like this. So, okay, I could see Tony Parker being ranked at 70. Bernard King, 69. He's going to fill up the bucket. He's going to score on you. Look at this here. In 1990-91, King's averaging 28.4 points for the Bullets, so that's good. He's just dropping points on everybody. Pistol Pete, 68. 24 points per game, 5 assists per game. Okay. I would have thought his assists would have been a little bit higher, honestly. Pistol Pete, Alex English, 21.5 points per game. He could have probably been maybe a little higher. Because, I mean, he could just score. He could flat out score on you. Alex English was a scorer. But once again, we're talking about back here in the 70s and 80s. Dave Cowens, another, you know, he's an undersized center, playing back in the 70s up to the 80s with the Bucks. 17 points per game, 13 boards. Okay. Pau Gasol, number 65, got a couple championships, and he was very, very important and crucial to those championship runs with the Lakers. It's not, Kobe wasn't doing it by himself. Let's keep that in mind. Let's see here. Okay. And like they said right here, exactly the kind of counterpunch Kobe Bryant needed to help deliver Los Angeles another set of titles. So we could see that Pau Gasol, 65. Okay, yeah, I could rock with that. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame for sure. Earl Monroe. Okay, Earl the Pearl. 4 years leading scorer, 18.8 points per game. Not much to really complain about this early on in the list. We've only gone through 10 players. Alonzo Mourning is number 63. Okay, defensive anchor for a lot of Charlotte Hornets teams and on the Heat for a long time. Okay, I could see that. I could see Alonzo Mourning. A lot of people like to talk about when he got dunked on by Vince Carter, but when you're a shot blocker like that, you're going to get dunked on. And when you're Vince Carter, you're dunking on everybody. So I'm sure we're going to see Vince Carter higher up on this list, and we'll be able to talk more about him then. But I'm okay with Alonzo being up here on this list. Dennis Rodman, okay, championships. Defensive player, defensive anchor for the Bulls. If you're checking out our, me and Lil Bro, we're doing the reviews on The Last Dance, so you'll be able to get some in-depth detail about Dennis Rodman there. So, yeah, he should be on this list, 62. Robert Parish, the big man, the anchor for the Celtics teams with Larry Bird and Kevin McHale, the Chief, played 21 seasons, okay, averaging 14.5 points and 9.1 boards. You can see why he's on this list. Number 61, maybe a little higher, but not complaining about where he's placed. Willis Reed, okay, he's number 60, an iconic moment in NBA history. This is iconic when he's limping out of the locker room to start Game 7 of the 70 NBA Finals, played on a torn thigh muscle, and then scored the first 4 points against Wilt Chamberlain. He scored the first 4 points of the game, and that sealed the deal. So 60 Willis Reed, I might have had him a little higher, but Bob McAdoo, 59 ranked 59, 22 points per game, 9.4 boards. You're playing back in the 70s and 80s. You're going to be on the list, but you're not going to be that much higher. Manu Ginobili, another part of the big three. We saw Tony Parker already. We're seeing Manu here. Yeah, Manu had a lot of impact on the game. Considered like a European, but coming from Argentina. So the way he played the game, you know, was European-esque, if I can make up a word. Yeah, okay, I could see Manu. He's on the list at number 58. All right. Clyde Drexler, 57. Okay, so let's see. Clyde the Glide. He was foiled to Michael Jordan in an NBA Finals. Got a Dream Team appearance. All-NBA, first-team pick, 10-time All-Star. Okay, yeah, Clyde Drexler at 57. Yeah, that makes sense. Ray Allen's number 56. Okay, yeah, I mean, he's a career three-point field goals scorer. He's up there on the list. He's up there on the list for scoring those threes. So he's got the NBA championship 2008 and a second title with the Heat 5 years later. I mean, when he was on the Bucks earlier on in his career, I mean, he was a number one option, and with the Sonics, he was a number one option and had a lot of success there, made it into the playoffs a bunch of times. 2 championships. Okay, number 56, Ray Allen, maybe arguably the purest shooter of all time. Vince Carter at number 55. Okay, I would probably have Vince a little bit higher, just based on his longevity. 16.7 points per game, but don't be fooled by that. That's because he's played so long, and now his role has changed. He's coming off the bench. He's mentoring young guys. So, I mean, he used to be a scorer. And then here, let's see what they're saying. 22 seasons spanning 4 decades. He'll be remembered for two things, his dunks and his longevity late. Yep, he's the only player in NBA history with at least 2,000 threes and 800 blocks. So, I mean, he's doing stuff that only he's going to be able to do based on how long he played. And that athleticism, if you're seeing him in games recently, I mean, he still has it. He's dunking it from time to time. I mean, he's solid. I might have had him a little higher, but we'll see. We'll see who else they have on the list. Paul Pierce at number 54. Okay, the truth may not have looked flashy doing it, but he's one of the most durable and smooth scorers of the century. Yeah, that's true. I mean, and he did it for a long time by himself in Boston. Him and Antoine Walker, employee number 8. You know, there was some years there for the Celtics where it was basically just those 2 guys. So he's got 1 ring on his resume. Okay. Gary Payton, the glove. Let's see, the lockdown defender. Played for the Sonics for a long time. Got a little time with the Bucks, a little time with the Lakers, a little time with the Celtics, a little time with the Heat. Got a ring there with the Heat. So he's got that championship. Okay, GP, number 53. We're getting closer to the top 50 players. Once again, I might have had him a little bit higher on the list. I'm eager to see who they've got ahead of him. But, I mean, for his defensive chops alone, I mean, this is one of the best defensive players of all time, especially out on the perimeter and in an era where you're very physical. So I might have given Gary Payton a little bit more clout than this, having him at number 53. T-Max, number 52. Okay, you got a two-way player, super athletic. Injuries are going to rob him of doing too much. Had a hard time getting out of the first round. So that's a knock on him. But at 52, okay, I could see a 52 ranking. I think that's appropriate. All right, we got Big Game James Worthy. I mean, he's got championships. He's got Finals MVP. Played alongside Magic and Kareem. 7-time All-Star. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. Getting into the top 50, though. James Worthy probably should have been in the top 50. I want to see who they've got ahead of him, but I think that you should be able to make some space for him in the top 50 players. And, okay, number 50 is Wes Unseld. Okay, he was a big, solid man, playing back in the 60s and 70s. Could be flip, could flip a couple guys. Reggie Miller. Okay, now we're in the top 50, so now we're going to see these guys where it's a little bit more clear. We've got Reggie Miller. I mean, the greatest shooter of his era. He's hitting threes all over the place. He's coming up big. He made it to the NBA Finals. Okay, yeah, Reggie Miller definitely deserves to be in the top 50 at 49. We got Bill Walton, 48. Okay, so he's another one of the top centers of all time in NBA history. He won a title with the Celtics in 86. Yeah, he's going to be on this list. I mean, he had a lot of foot injuries, and that's going to rob him. So even though we're talking about guys playing back in the 70s, Bill Walton, if he had been healthy, he'd definitely been higher on this list. We got George Gervin, the Iceman, finger roll. He's out here scoring points, scoring buckets, getting buckets. George Gervin is definitely going to be in the top 50 players. I think a ranking of 47 is actually pretty appropriate. He's a smooth scorer, smooth scorer. I mean, he won 4 scoring titles, shot 50% from the floor over the ABA and the NBA. So when you got some time in the ABA coming into the NBA, that might hurt, a little bit where you're going to be ranked. But that might hurt a little bit where you're going to be ranked. But George Gervin's doing pretty good here at 47. So we got Dominique Wilkins coming up next. I mean, this guy he was a scorer. He dueled against Bird. He's got games against Michael. So Dominique Wilkins at 46, that's definitely going to fit. If he could have had a little bit more success in the playoffs, but I mean, what are you going to do? Like it says right here, Wilkins, Hawks didn't advance far in the playoffs. They kept running into the Celtics, Pistons, and Bucks in the 80s. Like, you're not going to get past those teams. You're just not, especially with the way they were built back then. They have guys like Doc Rivers and stuff like that. I mean, you're not going to be able to get past them. Anthony Davis at number 45. Oof, okay. Davis, let's see their reasoning behind it, because I wouldn't have him at 45. Davis makes this list off the promise of what's to come. Not that his career averages through his first 8 seasons aren't already significant. So 24, 10. Okay, I mean, this guy can do it all. We see it in today's NBA. He can do it all. I'm thinking back over some of the guys who were ranked behind him. I don't feel Anthony Davis should be ranked at 45 right now because he hasn't done enough. I mean, those years with the Pelicans, he made it to the playoffs, 2 times? And I think they advanced once. So, and then this year got cut short. So I'm just going to say I don't feel Anthony Davis should be here at 45. Not that he wouldn't one day be here. I know what they said here too. It's off his potential. But I personally wouldn't have him at 45. I got to see more. I got to see more out of you. Elvin Hayes, okay, we're going back. I mean, we're going all the way back to the 60s again. 21 points per game, 12.5. These are the all-time greats. The all-time greats are always going to have their place on a list like this, and it's just going to be a matter of time. Guys are going to have to move past them. Like we're talking Anthony Davis, he's going to pass Elvin Hayes, as if he keeps playing the way that he is. Rick Barry, granny shot. Known for his underhand free throw approach, the Hall of Fame sharpshooter, led the Warriors to title in 74-75. Consistent scorer. If you can score points, if you can fill up the bucket, then you're going to be on lists like this. So that's one of the things that we've got to remember. If you can score, you're going to be on lists like this. Russell Westbrook, 42. In a purely statistical vacuum, Westbrook is as impactful a player as the league has ever seen. That's true. Coming from that statistical standpoint, let's look at his stats. 23 points per game, 7.1 boards, 8.3 assists, almost 2 steals, and 1.1 threes per game. Okay, I mean, he's a point guard who can do it all. He plays with a lot of energy and a lot of emotion. And, I mean, with 3 consecutive seasons averaging a triple-double, in the modern era, that's hard to do. So I got to give it to Russell Westbrook. I think this is a warranted spot. I mean, he can ball. He can ball. And his type of game is going to transition, because he's so athletic, it can transition to any era, and he's going to see success. Bob Cousy, number 41, 1950-63. When you have that many championships, you're going to be on a list because you win. You win, and we play these games to win. Okay, so those are all the way down to number 41. Let's check out number 40 to 11, and we can see where we're going to end up at with this ranking. All right, number 40 through 11. 40, we got Chris Paul. Okay, so Chris Paul, I have mixed feelings about Chris Paul. The way that he was playing this season is a testament, a knock in his favor. But it's hard for him when he doesn't have so much playoff success and he's not moving up when we actually get into the playoffs. And I mean, yeah, he's had some untimely injuries, both with the Clippers and with the Rockets. But it's just really hard for me. So I have mixed feelings about him. I just have mixed feelings about him. 18.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 9.5 assists, 2.2 steals. So you can't argue with those stats. But, I mean, maybe him and Russell Westbrook, who we saw just a couple slots back, maybe those two guys can flip-flop. I don't know. It gets close. Walt Frazier, smooth offensive game and tenacious defense, left no holes for opponents to attack. I mean, it's a complete player. 18.9 points per game with 5.9 boards, 6.1 assists. Shooting 49% from the field. Nice. And let's see, I just want to see what this says here. He won 2 challenges with the Knicks, and he made 7 All-Star teams, 7 All-Defensive teams, 6 All-NBA teams. Game 7 is remembered as the Willis Reed game, but it was Frazier who had 36 points, 19 assists, 7 rebounds, and 6 steals. Okay, can you quiet down a little bit? I don't mind if you guys can talk, but just a little bit quiet. But it was Frazier who had 36 points, 19 assists, 7 rebounds, and 6 steals. So, I mean, that's huge in a closeout game to win the title. So, Walt Frazier, 39, warranted. Bob Pettit, simply one of the most dominant players of his era, but we're talking the 50s. So, once again, guys like this, they're going to be on the list no matter what. It's nice. I like how NBA has released a lot of old school games. We're able to see a little bit more of what these guys can do. So it gives us a little bit more appreciation for those types of players who played back in previous eras. If there is footage for it, we're able to see it. We're not just looking at their numbers alone. Patrick Ewing's ranked at number 37. Okay, that's going to work. That's going to work for you because, you know, you're going up against Jordan and you're not winning. So, and I mean, a lot of guys didn't win, so I don't mean that in a knock against you, Patrick Ewing, but 21 points per game, almost 10 boards, 2.4 blocks. I mean, you were a big monster back, 85s to 2000s, 15 years there with the Knicks. I mean, then that was your prime. So it's just you ran into Jordan, so that's going to hurt you. Kevin Mchale, footwork on this guy. If you watch him on the low block, if you see some footage of him on the low block, I mean, Mchale's footwork is just, it's amazing. It's top notch. This guy could score for you. He could do it all. He was part of that big front line with Robert Parish and Larry Bird, 7-time All-Star, 3-time champion. Yep, playing one of the most legendary front lines in NBA history. Kevin Mchale deserves to be on the list, number 36. I think that's a good fit. Jason Kidd, a do-it-all point guard. 12.6 points per game, 6.3 boards, 8.7 assists, almost 2 steals. Scored a lot of threes over his career. Second only to John Stockton in NBA history in assists and steals. This guy fits definitely right here, 35. He's got a championship with the Dallas Mavericks. So, and in the beginning, he had no J. So, and they would call him Asen Kid. They would make fun of him and call him Asen Kid because they said he had no J. But then, for him to be able to turn into someone who can make, Kid made 1,988 three-pointers, which is 10th all time. Yeah, and it even says right here, and despite entering the league with little to no jumper, Kid made 1,908 three-pointers, which is 10th all time. I mean, that's a lot of threes for a guy who can't shoot. So here we go. George Mikan, original Laker, Minneapolis Lakes. 23.1 points per game, 13 rebounds. I mean, this is probably the first dominant big man well, not probably, it is the first dominant big man in NBA history. And look, you got, this picture's cool right here. You got him standing, and then you have a guy up on top of the shoulders of another guy, grown man, just trying to take his picture. So, I mean, that's a cool image right there. He's definitely going to be on the list. He's not going anywhere. Doesn't matter. He's the first of his kind, the first of his breed. John Havlicek. Havlicek stole the ball. Let's see here. 20.8 points per game, 6.3 boards, 4.8. Playing back in the 60s and 70s with those Celtics who won all the time. He's going to be on the list. We can leave him here at 33. That's good. People are going to be trying to pass him as time goes by. So his spot is still warranted here. Look at his numbers. 20.8 points per game, 6.3 boards, and 4.8 assists. James Harden at number 32. James Harden can score. He could flat out score. I think that he does, in my personal opinion, I think he benefits a lot from the rules of today's NBA. The great players are going to be able to adapt their game no matter what the era. And James Harden's a great player. it would be something for me if he's put into a different era. Would he still be as prolific a scorer? He doesn't play defense at all, and in basketball you do have to be able to play both sides of the ball. That's what the true guys who I'm sure in the top 10, I'm 100% sure that the guys in the top 10 on this list play both sides of the ball, which is why having him at 30 here at 32 is a lot more understandable. But the issue that I have is that he's going to be able to go up because he still has years to play. And I guess I can't hold it against him. You're getting my live reaction on this. I guess I can't hold it against him that, he's playing in this era. But I mean, you play no defense, and that's just, that's effort. So to me, that's kind of a knock on him. That's effort. I mean, he can score though. But Isaiah Thomas at number 31, one of the greatest players in NBA history. That's true. I want to see who they have ahead of him. I could see Isaiah Thomas being a little bit higher than 31. I want to see who they've got ahead of him. Guided Detroit to 2 championships. Just so many issues with a bunch of other players in the NBA kind of hurts him. He's iced out of a lot of things, but I mean, he kind of brought it on himself, the way he played and the way he acts. Once again, if you check out the Bulls documentaries, there's a lot of talk about Jordan and his ascension and how he had to go through Isaiah and the issues they had. But you can't take away from this guy's game. So 31. Okay, so I don't have Steve Nash higher than guys like Isaiah Thomas or Russell Westbrook. Nash, to me, he's got 2 MVPs, but he is the embodiment of what it means to benefit from rule changes. That rule change completely enabled Steve Nash to do the things that he did. I mean, he could ball, but I'm not going to have him at 30 on the list ahead of Isaiah Thomas, Russell Westbrook. I'm not going to put him up that high. Also, I believe he's the only MVP in league history never to make it to the NBA Finals. And when you're starting to get up into the top guys, that's going to count against you. AI, number 29. Yeah, that's probably about right. Let's see who's they've got ahead of him. I mean, he's got a finals appearance, undersized, bald for a lot of years. Probably could have played a little bit longer if he was willing to adjust his game there near the end of his career. But, I mean, this guy's, pound for pound, probably the best scorer in NBA history. Often the best pound for pound player in NBA history. Best scorer? Yeah. Best player? No. John Stockton, ultimate pass first point guard. Yeah. I mean, he's the leader all time in assists. And I don't think anybody's even close. 3,715 more than runner-up Jason Kidd, and 581 more steals than Kidd. Yeah, all-time marks. Yanis at 27. Okay, you can't have this guy here at number 27 all time because he hasn't done anything at all. He's got his MVP, but yeah, you can't have him this high. That's like the Anthony Davis thing earlier on. I mean, you just can't have him this high on the list already. Stockton's better. Allen Iverson's better. Isaiah, yeah, you can't have him at 27. Just the body of work's not there yet. 20 points per game, 8.9 rebounds, a couple of assists. I mean, yeah, he does it all, but can't have him there. 26, Dwyane Wade. Okay, yeah. D Wade maybe. Man, now we're starting to really nitpick it. But that's what you got to do as you get closer to the top 10. Dwyane Wade at 26. Yeah, I can leave Dwyane Wade at 26. That's okay. He could stay at 26. Kawhi Leonard, number 25. Okay, Kawhi's got some rings. Already played 9 seasons. First championship finals MVP with the Spurs in 2014. Yep, that was alongside Tim, Manu, and Tony, who's seen 2 of those guys already on the list. I'm going to want to put Dwyane ahead of Kawhi. Kawhi's definitely ahead of Yanis, so that's fine. He's got some rings, so that's going to matter. Maybe a little flip-flop there with Dwyane Wade. David Robinson, number 24 all-time. Yep, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and MVP honors in his first 6 seasons. A lot of people forget David Robinson. I mean, he's definitely up there. Number 24, that works. 21 points per game with 10 boards, 3 blocks per game. Yeah, I mean, he's a monster on the defensive end. On both ends of the floor, actually, he's a monster. So he can stay at 24. All right, we're seeing Berkeley at 23. Now, a lot of people might have a problem with Berkeley at 23, maybe wanting him ranked a little bit higher, but I mean, he's playing in that Jordan era where you're not winning because of Jordan and probably no other reason. He won an MVP during Jordan's watch, so that's going to also count for something. But I'm fine with him being at 23 because it's like the rings do matter, especially as you're getting closer and closer to the top 10. But I do want to see who they've got ahead of him. I'm fine right now for the moment seeing him at 23. But I mean, we just saw Yanis at 27, so we got to see who else is on this list to really feel comfortable with this. Elgin Baylor, okay, I mean, like I said, when you're playing right here and you've got numbers, you're going to be, you're going to be there. And then he paved the way for all these high flyers along the way is what they're saying right here. Dr. J to Jordan to LeBron. Pippen at 21. Okay, so this guy's the ultimate Robin, probably the best sidekick of all time. Do it all. I mean, he could do everything on the court. He's got some things that are going to count against him, though. We've got, him missing a whole lot of games in that final season with the Bulls because he's, upset about his contract. We've got him sitting out because he wants to take the last shot instead of Tony Kukoc against the Knicks in the playoffs. That's going to hurt him a little bit, but Pippen at 21, yeah, I'm okay with that, and I'm okay with the people that they've got him ahead of so far on the list. KG, top 20 player of all time. That's accurate. I think KG's a top 20 player of all time. I mean, this guy could truly do it all. 17.8 points per game, 10 boards, almost 4 assists, 3.7 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.4 blocks. I mean, he's doing everything. Got a championship with the Celtics, got an MVP with Minnesota. Garnett's checked for second in NBA history after playing 21 seasons in the league, ranks in the top 20 in career blocks and steals, and top 10th. I mean, he's everywhere. When you look at the top rankings list, Kevin Garnett's on it. So yeah, top 20. Here we go. Dirk at 19. KG and Dirk, they had a close battle between the two of them. I mean, they played, against each other for years, and then you're going to have... So now we're seeing how the power fours are breaking down. We've already seen Berkeley, we've seen KG, we've seen Dirk. We know Tim's in the top 10. Dirk has some serious longevity here. I'm okay with him being at 19. I mean, he's scored so many points, and he's got that NBA championship on his belt. You need these rings. Now that we're getting higher up here, you're going to need these rings. Moses Malone, he's a monster. 18, ranked at 18. Joined the ABA, prep to pro, one of the originals. So let's see. I mean, 1974 all the way up to 1995. 20 points per game, 12.3 boards. Moses Malone, this is fine. This is a fine ranking. You're in the top 20. And Karl Malone. So Karl Malone's at 17, the other power forward on that list. I'm surprised I don't have a little picture of him. Where's our images at? Yeah, Karl Malone's definitely going to be here at 17. Maybe I might have him a little higher. Let's see if we can leapfrog anybody here. Jerry West at 16, so we got the logo at 16. Okay. Logo's at 16. 27 points per game. I mean, he could score. He could fill it up. This guy was Iverson before Iverson. Yeah, I'm fine with him being at 16. I think this is good. I agree with it so far. Yeah, I'm okay. Like with, let's see, Barkley's back up here at 23. I'm actually okay with that. I think that the guys they have ahead of them deserve it. Because we're talking now, we're nitpicking, so you got to have championships, or you got to have, even more longevity. There's going to be different things that's going to separate you as we're coming here into the top 20. Here's Dr. J at 15. Okay, so there's only a handful of players that are ahead of him heading into the top 10. 24 points per game, 8.5 boards. I mean, this guy, we know him. We all know what he could do. We all know the highlights. We know that he paved the way now for Jordan. So he's Jordan before Jordan. That's okay. KD at number 14. KD is going to
be in the top 10 NBA players of all time by the time his career is done. And it's getting closer. We're going to have to see how he comes off the Achilles injury, but he's and that's going to be tough to come back from. But KD is a pretty driven guy, especially when people are talking about him. So, I mean, he's got some titles. He's got scoring titles, an MVP. He's got 2 championships with the Warriors. He's got them. So he's gonna have the numbers. So we have to see what he's gonna do coming off the Achilles, and hopefully once everything with this COVID goes away, well, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out for him to finish his career. But if things continue the way they are, I mean, look at this: 27 points per game, 7.1 rebounds, 4.1 assists. If KD's healthy, then Raptors don't win. If KD's healthy, Raptors don't win, and we would have to see what happens to Kawhi. He might fall further back. Stephon Curry, okay. I might get a lot of flack for this. But the thing is Stephon Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, but he's a very one-dimensional player. He was the leader on those Warrior teams. If Steve Nash previously, he benefited from those rules change. When the NBA made that rule change, Stephon Curry is the type of player that they envisioned when they implemented that rule change. Personally, I would not have Curry here at 13. And you may call me crazy for that. You may disagree with it, but you know what? That's what lists are for. There are personal opinions. Okay, so go ahead, jump in the comments below, and you can go ahead and say whatever you want. But lists are lists. It's personal opinions. I wouldn't have Curry here. I'm putting Durant over Curry. I'm putting Dr. J over Curry. I mean, just scrolling back, I'm putting Karl Malone over Curry for sure. He should maybe be back here where we're seeing KG or even Pippen. I'm putting Pippen over Curry. I'd rather build with, my team around that, build my team around him. I'm dropping Curry back. I'm not having him at 13. So, I mean, you could shoot the 3, but what else are you going to do for me? I'm not having him at 13. Just, that's my opinion. I'm not having him at 13. Hakeem at number 12. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So let's see. With all due respect to Kevin Mchale, is the premier low post technician to ever catch an entry pass. Yeah, that's true. The dream shake. He would catch that thing. He's pivoting off you with either foot, finishing with either hand around the basket. He can shoot the jump shot. I mean, Hakeem he's a monster and a legitimate 12 spot. I'm starting to figure out in my mind who we got in the top 10. And Mr. Oscar Robertson rounding out this group. He's here at number 11, and he's going to deserve it. I mean, he's a walking triple double. The first player to average a triple double in a single season: 25.7 points per game, 7.5 boards, with 9.5 dimes. All right, cool. So we made it through. He deserves it. This fits. This doesn't. So let's go ahead and check out the top 10. And we will get into that. We already kind of know who we're going to have here based off of what we've already seen. And let's see. Okay, so we got number 10. We got Big Shaq Diesel. He deserves to be on the top 10. Okay, so we got Shaq. We haven't seen Kobe. We haven't seen Tim. We haven't seen Bird, Magic. So it's going to be everyone's list of guys: Bird, Magic, LeBron, Michael. So let's just see what order they put them in. We already kind of know who we're going to have. Let's just see the order we put them in. So we've got Big Shaq at number 10. Okay, that's fine. Let's see who they've got. I would have him higher because that when he was at his most dominant, that was truly it was probably, aside from Jordan, the most dominance that we have seen in the modern era physically. I mean, he's making other grown men who are over 7 feet, in the 99th percentile or even 100th percentile for height and weight on the planet, and he's making them look like small children. He was just a step above everybody else. So let's see, how this is going to play out. We got Shaq at 10, Kobe at 9. Okay, I'm not upset with this. I'm not upset with this. Kobe and Shaq are linked, for better or for worse. They're going to be linked, so I'm not surprised that they have them so close to each other on this list. They're going to go into this together, in my opinion. You can't have Shaq doesn't get his rings without Kobe, but Kobe for sure doesn't get those first 3 rings without Shaq, because that's when Shaq was doing his thing. I'm fine with Kobe being at number 9. This is not going to, let's see, his mental edge and a burning desire to master the sport. Okay, that's right. RIP Kobe, you're going to be here at number 9, and I think that this is where you deserve to be. I don't think you deserve to be any higher. And when all is said and done, if Durant continues his climb, he's probably going to surpass you. So I'm okay with him being at number 9. Number 8, Tim Duncan. Yes, I think this is fitting. Tim should be ahead of Kobe. They played those so many years against each other, and basically in the same time frame. And Tim Duncan had success before Kobe's getting his ring, and he has success after Kobe's got his last ring. So and then if you want to make the argument that Kobe and Shaq were doing that together as Batman and Robin, with Shaq being Batman, Kobe being Rodman, Tim was always Batman on his teams. Even the last one, the last one, he had already started turning it over to Kawhi. Luckily, they've got him there, but then that's 4 championships where this is the guy to only 2 for Kobe and 3 for Shaq. So I could see that, if you're going to nitpick, which we are doing at this point because we're in the top 10, then this is how it's going to go down. Tim's that guy. And he may not have that same personality as the previous 2, the Shaq and Kobe, 10 and 9. But I mean, you can't argue with what this guy's got on the floor. You can't argue with it. The big fundamental. All right, so let's see. We got Bird. Bird's at 7. Second best small forward of all time. So let's see. We're gonna have Bird coming in here at number 7. He's there. He's definitely gonna be there. He belongs. He's gonna be in everybody's top 10, no matter what. He belongs at number 7. Okay, so 10, 9, 8. Shaq, Kobe, Tim, Bird. Look at the numbers: 24.3 points per game with 10 boards, 6.3 assists, 1.7, 5 NBA Finals, 3 championships, and he's playing alongside Kevin Mchale and Robert Parish. I mean, this guy is the league MVP for 3 consecutive years. So, yep, and then until LeBron came, Bird's the best small forward. So LeBron comes, Bird falls back. Wilt Chamberlain, it's pure dominance. There's not much to even say about this. Wilt at number 6 means Bill Russell's at 5. Haven't even seen the list, and I'm going to guess that. Oh, they got Magic at 5. Okay, so Magic's at 5. I thought I would have probably had Bill Russell at 5, but that's okay. We're down to the last couple of guys, so we know who we're going to see on the list. We're fine with Wilt being here at 6. 30 points per game, man. 22 rebounds and 4.4 assists. That's just crazy. That's just crazy numbers. Only players score 100 points in a game. Mythical. Magic at 5. Okay. Like I said, I would have probably flipped him, but I'm not upset. I'm not upset knowing the guys who are left. I'm not upset. So, yep, you got Magic here. Yes, he's all-around player. So, yep, Magic's better than Bird. A lot of people are probably upset with if I'm having to guess this, because I haven't really paid attention to anybody else's list. I just sat down and took a look at this on my own. I'm gonna guess that a lot of Laker fans are upset with Kobe being at 9, and they're gonna want him to be the highest Laker on the list. But I mean, in actuality, you can't be ahead of Magic and Kareem, who are the other 2 guys that are going to be wearing Lakers gold. I mean, it's just it's too close to to be really discussing it from a clear point of view. I think for a lot of Kobe and Laker fans, it's too close to the tragedy that happened in February. But this is appropriate. Here's Bill Russell at 4. So like I said, you could flip flop the 2 of them. In my opinion, I would flip flop them. But Bill Russell's the all-time. I mean, he's the all-time champion. Like, this guy is what it is to be a champ. 15 points per game with 22.5 rebounds, the greatest winner in basketball history, 11 titles in 13 years. This is the true definition of dominance right here, this guy right here. And I mean, I've seen little documentaries of him where, you know, he's talking about his mindset and how he had to get ready for games. And it's amazing to hear, you know, someone compete. And then also the era that he competed in with all the social injustice that was going on at the time. It's just an amazing thing and an amazing attribute to his mental toughness. And that's something that's not really talked about, you know, is that mental aspect of it for someone like him playing in the 50s and the 60s. So that's amazing. All right, and here we go. So we got our top three. So it's going Kareem, LeBron, Michael. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You've got Kareem here, all-time leading scorer in NBA history, 6 championships, 6 finals. Let's see what they have to say about it. No one in NBA history can match him. Record 6 MVPs, 19-time All-Star, 6 championships, with the first and the last coming 17 years apart. So he's doing it with the Bucks, you know, as the focal point, and then he's doing it as the, you know, the final option on the Lakers here 17 years later. This guy can, I mean, look at this. It's beautiful. He's got the arm extended. He's hooking that shot. No one's going to block that. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 3rd best player of all time. Yeah, I can see that. I agree with it. For a lot of people, they might put him up number 1, depending on the era where you're born at. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with seeing him here at number 3, and I think that this is deserved. He's going to embody what it is. You know, yes, he's got some time with the Bucks, but he's going to embody it wearing this color uniform, wearing this jersey, if you know what I mean. He's going to embody that more than maybe somebody else. LeBron James is number 2 all time. I called it. Yeah, guys, I mean, you can't be upset with this. LeBron James can do it all. He has done it all. He's got the dominance factor. He's got the championships. He's got MVPs. I mean, everything's going to go on and on when you're talking about LeBron. 20.7 points per game, or 27.1 points per game, 7.4 rebounds per game, 7.4 assists per game, and 1.6 steals. I mean, he's doing everything. When you go to create your player in 2K, you are creating someone like this. Okay, like, let's just be real. Like, stop the hate. There's a lot of people that hate on this guy, but you cannot argue with it. And after 17 seasons, he's still going strong. Before all this COVID stuff happened, I mean, he was still doing his thing and looking like on pace to get another title. So let's just be real about this. Like, LeBron James deserves to be number 2 on the list. There's nothing wrong with having him at number 2 on your all-time list. We know who's number 1. Let's scroll down. Yep, here he is. It's Michael Jordan. I agree with this. I think that this top 10 is accurate. A lot of people are going to, I mean, there's nothing to say. I'm not going to go into too much detail about Michael Jordan because we all know it. And if you don't know it and you're a basketball player, sit down and watch those Bulls documentaries. Watch the Ludi Bros reviews on those Bulls documentaries to get some insight on it. But Michael Jordan is where it's at. Greatest player of all time. Yes, true. Jordan led the Bulls to 6 NBA championships, winning 6 finals MVPs and 5 regular season MVPs, honors while becoming a global icon on and off the court. Just watch the documentaries if you don't know. This guy is number 1. Deservedly so. Okay, so 1, we'll go back through real quick and then we'll wrap this up. 1 for Mike, 2 for LeBron, okay, 3 Kareem, 4 Bill Russell, 5 Magic, then 6 was Wilt, 7's Bird, okay, 8 Tim, 9 Kobe, and then 10 Big Shaq Diesel. Whew, that was a lot to get through. That was a lot of NBA players to look at and a lot to digest. Some of the things that stood out to me was Yanis at 27. I don't think that we should have Yanis at 27. Not yet. Durant is coming. So top 10 will be changed. Durant is coming. Will Michael Jordan ever be able to pass? Or, I mean, will LeBron ever pass Michael? No. He's not going to be... I don't think he's going to be able to truly pass him on everyone's list and be a consensus number 1 pick. A lot of people like to close the door on that based off some of his previous finals performances and appearances. I'm not going to base it off that. What I'm going to base it on is just the fact that when you go back and you review what the Bulls were able to do. And I'm so happy that the Bulls documentary came out. If you haven't seen our videos, go check them out. But when you go back and review what the Bulls were able to do and how important Michael was to those teams, it becomes apparent that, you know, it's just apparent, you know, how important he was to the game, how his mindset changed the game. This guy is the true, you know, he is the true Mamba mentality, for lack of a better term. His mindset is what it is to, you know, the desire to compete and be the best. This is the true embodiment of it right here. Air Jordan is the true embodiment of it right here. All right, well, hey, that was a long, lengthy list. This was a long, lengthy video, but I mean, I love talking ball, so I wanted to sit down and go through every single player. So hopefully you stuck it out to the end to see, you know, to see all the choices. Hey, hit me up in the comments below. You agree, you disagree, you want to talk about some of the other rankings. I would love to hear your guys' opinions. And hey, let's talk ball. I love talking basketball. You can hit me up on our social media. We're out there. We're on Facebook. Just look us up, Ludi Bros Entertainment. Go ahead and look us up. Facebook, Instagram. We've got a Twitch. We're streaming now. So just go ahead and hit us up, get in contact with us. And we'd love to talk to you. We love to hear from our fans. All right. Thanks a lot, guys, for sticking with me through this video, and we'll see you next time.